Thanks for joining us. My name is Shannon from Strategic Intervention Solutions. This is a tutorial video for Deco Dots on the game Scatter Sandwich. If you're new to us, our website is sis4teachers.org. There's lots of resources on the website, and also you can follow us on Facebook at Strategic Intervention Solutions. Today in this video, we're going to show you the different versions for how to play Scatter Sandwich. Scatter Sandwich is a missing add-in game that's appropriate for students in first grade and in second grade when they're starting to understand the parts of a number. There'll be a regular game as well as a club sandwich that we can make to get kids to find the missing add-in when using 3 add-ins. Let's play! This is the game Scatter Sandwich. Scatter Sandwich is an excellent game to help kids with missing add-in. A lot of times they don't understand that part whole or when one of the parts is missing. So in this game you can select whatever color deco dots you want. If you want to do red, yellow, or green. Remembering that the sum for the yellow and the green can go up as high as 20 depending on what parts of the deck that you're using. I'm going to choose to use the yellow deck. The best way for this game to work is really for the students to have another partner. It really isn't a game that's a winner or a loser. It's really more of them just kind of playing together to create the sandwiches and then kind of playing the guessing game on the other side. The accountability sheet really only has them put in 6 different number bounds, which is enough. They don't have to do all of their sandwiches on the accountability sheet, but it lets us know that they're understanding the 2 parts of that number. I just have the kids kind of take the cards and kind of spread them out and have them come up with the different sandwiches that they want to create. I usually will call out a number that I want them to make the sandwiches in. So for this demonstration, I already picked that we're gonna make 7 sandwiches. The kids would go through the different cards trying to find out which 2 cards they could get to total 7, and then create a sandwich out of it. For this one, I've already prepared my sandwiches ahead of time so that we know which ones we're gonna be working with, but they would kind of go through the deck themselves and figure out which ones they want. I've already made some sandwiches. Here I have 4 and 3, which is one of our sandwiches. It's gonna total 7. I'm gonna put the backs to each other so that Dotson is meeting Dotson, so that the 2 pieces of bread that are facing out are our 2 add-ins. As we continue looking at the ones that I've already created, I have 7 and 0. There's nothing on that 10 frame, so that would be 1. So the kids together are gonna work together to try to put their sandwiches together to show the 2 parts. I would limit it to maybe 8 to 10 number sandwiches that you're using depending on which deck that you're using. If I wanted to do this with the 5 frame deck, I could just do sums up to, really up to 10. So now that they have all of their sandwiches created, it's kind of a guessing game. So the child will pick up the card and show them that our sandwich on this side of the bread has 1. So how many's on the other side of the bread? Knowing the parts of 7, the child sees that there's 1 and hopefully knows that the other side of the bread has 6. They're gonna record how much they saw on the first piece of bread, which is 1. On the other side was the number 6. So they can see those are the 2 parts of 7. On another one we might look at with 4 and 3, they would show the one side of it and say this is on the one side of the bread, how many's on the other. So on here I'm gonna go ahead and record my sandwich, which is 4. And then on my other side of the bread, I have 3 to total 7. Kids can continue recording. You can change the number if you want to make it sandwiches to 10. However you want to work it, the kids can just find as many as they can in the deck. Record their 6, but kind of take turns guessing how many they have on the one piece of bread versus the other. In this game, it's the Scatter Sandwich Challenge game, which is really kind of fun for kids because they can actually have 3 add-ins instead of 2. So there's sort of this mystery club sandwich that we call it, with the idea that you sort of already have made all these sandwiches, but the partner has put a secret number in the middle for them to figure out. So in the sandwiches that I've already created, you could have one child create their sandwiches and then insert the part that's the club sandwich part to make it sort of the mystery. In this case, I kind of created up 4 of them. These are sandwiches, these club sandwiches, the sum is 12. So when we're looking at it, they can still see the 2 sides of the bread, so I can see the 5, and then on this side, I can see the 2. They have to guess what is the middle card that has the actual sum to get it to 12. So in this case, this one's kind of easy because if they have 5 and 2, hopefully realize that 5 is in the middle. For our total for this to be 5 plus 5 plus 2 is one way that we can decompose and show the sum of 12. On this one here, We have it 0 on the one side of the bread, and then I have 8 on the other side of the bread. So they have to figure out, hopefully they're not going 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but they could actually think about the structure within what we've been using in Deco Dots, that the 2 more would fill it to 10, and if I had 2 on the side, that's gonna get me to the 12. So hopefully they recognize that the number in the middle is indeed gonna be a 4. So if we look at this number decomposed, the kids can also do an accountability sheet with them, with just showing how they can decompose the 3 numbers and show that it totals the sum. The last example I'll show here has 7 on one piece of the bread, and then it has 4 on the other. Now if we think about that structure that we were talking about, there's 4 here, I see 3 empty spaces. You want the kids to mentally really be able to think about how many more do they need to get to that number 12. So I know that I put the 3 in here and 1 more, it's 11. So our mystery number in our club sandwich hopefully should be a 1, which it is. So kids can practice this game by putting in a piece of the extra Deco Dot inside to kind of sandwich it out to get the idea of the 3 add-ins, and this allows for them to decompose numbers higher because they can have 3 parts to that number. Remember, depending on which deck you're using, you can make this more difficult. So younger students could play this in the red deck because it only has the 5 frames, and depending on what number you're gonna pick, you know, that number could go up to 15 if you wanted it to, but to kind of know where you're going with which numbers you're using depending on which deck you're using. Thanks so much for joining us on the tutorial video for Scatter Sandwich for Deco Dots. I hope you found the video helpful to get ideas in your classroom for how you can use Deco Dots for missing add-in with 2 parts and 3 parts. The variety of being able to differentiate this game along with having the accountability will really make it a strong station in your math instruction. Be sure to check out our website at sis4teachers.org for many other tutorial videos on Deco Dots, as well as other free downloads. I'm Shannon, the creator of Deco Dots, and I'm so happy that you've joined us, and I can't wait to hear about how much fun you have.